Hello, I'm ToNature. I made this video to introduce unique items in Undecember. Undecember has many unique items, but most of them have worthless options to use. However, among these, there are some invaluable unique items that you can't even get while playing game. Based on my experience in Korean server, I would like to introduce what unique items are valuable, including 29 tier unique items that are dropped in global server. Conqueror's Pride. It is 23 tier unique belt. The options are 7 stat HP, mana, barrier, and chaos resistance, and it is important option. The 40% damage for every one unique items equipped. So when you use the unique items in your setting, maybe it gives more damage even though it is belt. There is no another belt gives damage option. It is only one belt gives the damage option. Aphros spell. It is 27 tier unique helmet. It has many options to help the character survivor. For example, there are strength, dexterity, HP, element resist, HP regeneration, and there are two options for the armor and dodge. 4% armor increasing for every 20 strength, also 4% dodge rate for every dexterity. Because this helmet gives a lot of stat, it is very good for using the Maggot Jodia. Flaming Halo, it is a 22 tier ring. There is a damage amplification when channeling option, so it is very good for the channeling skill such as a whirlwind. When you equip this ring, it gives amplification option for all of the skill you use, so it is very good option for the channeling skills. And there is also 12 to 15 attack cycle when channeling, and burn rate. And there is also the damage against the enemy affected by dot. However, I figured out that there is some nerf about the movement speed now, so it is very not good to use the whirlwind build with toxic frame in global server, comparing by Korean server. Yearning Green Moon. It is 28 tier ring, and there is a very high attack speed here, and there is also very high damage. And there's also very good hit rate here. So when you use the attack skill, it is very good ring to your build. So it is very expensive in Korea server very long time. Grave of King's belt. It is 26 tier belt, and there is a item drop rarity option, and there is also movement speed increasing option. So these two options very important in this belt. As you know, item drop rarity is very important in this belt. Item drop rarity option can affect the dropped item in field in Chaos Dungeon. So Essence can get more high rarity, and Chaos card also can be affected by the rarity option. In addition, item drop rarity can be the rarity of the gear items in field also. When I compare with another guy who have this belt, when I compare the number of the unique item we got before, and I found that the number of the unique items he get is very higher than me. So I thought that there is some clear effect of the item rarity. So if you have this belt very early, maybe you can get many goods from the dropped item, I think. That's why it is very expensive in Korea server always. So I think these 5 unique items are very invaluable, and I will introduce another valuable unique items to you guys. The first one is the Sephdar's Glory, because there is a very high chaos resist. So this can be used when you go to the chaos damage boss. It will be very helpful to your survivor. And there is also very high stat and very high element resist. And there is also the damage skill level. So it helps very your damage and your resist a lot. Band of Certainty. It is very simply, there is only damage and 10 stats. So if you have this ring, maybe it can be help a little, but because it is very simple ring, maybe you can, if you have a legendary rings, it's more powerful than this ring, I think. Aquilla's Spirit. There is a damage amplification options here. However, there's also the mana cost amplification options here. So when you can deal with the mana cost issue, maybe it can be used in your field, I think. Valor Talisman. There are stat, HP mana, and damage amplification against the elite. And it is very important option. Recover 20% max HP and mana upon killing an elite. So when you go to the Spire of Barrier, this necklace helps a lot for your survivor in that content. Silver Coin of the Beginning. It is one of the gold farming accessory. So because there is a gold gain amount and there is also gold gain chance. So when you do the gold farming in Chaos Dungeon, maybe this one good item for your necklace. Gold Collrector's Loop. As you know, the gold is very important in the Undecember. Whenever you level up the link rune and skill rune, or you make a 30 level of link rune or skill rune, there are many things you have to use the gold in this game. Because there is a very high gold gain chance in this ring. And there is also the gold gain amount. So when you do gold farming in Chaos Dungeon, this ring can be mandatory for your setting. Righteous Portrait. Because there is a regeneration effect. When you just equip this item, you can get the regeneration effect in your character. So if you have a 150% and more regeneration effect in this item, your character's HP and mana can regenerate very fast. The First Returnee. There is a reflect damage taken decrease options here. As you know, there are many reflection cards in Chaos Dungeon. So when you use this item, maybe it reduces the reflection damage to your character. The number of the percent is not 100%. Maybe you can get some damage from them. However, if you after equip this item, maybe you can get more reflection damage taken decrease options from another item. So make it 100% for the reflection damage taken decrease option. And then you cannot get any damage from the monster. Frostmost Chest. It has very good options for the character which use the dodge rate. Because there are very high gear dodge rate and high percentage dodge rate options here. And there is also HP here and freeze immunity option. And there is also bow skill rune level. So it is very good for the character who use the bow skills and who use the dodge rate as a character's defense mechanics. Tendril of Evergreen. This one of glove gives acceleration effect here. So when you do mapping in Chaos Dungeon, it can give very high movement speed to your character. That's why many users use this kind of gloves when they do farming. Epigram Shackles is one of gloves which gives sharpness effect. However, it reduces the acceleration effect. So if your character have a very low critical rate, it can be used to your character. However, after making good another legendary item, instead of these gloves, you have to replace this item into another legendary item for your character specification. Storm's Path. It is very good item because it gives very high chaos resist. Also, there is a dodge rate when stationary amplification. When your character use the dodge rate, it can give very high dodge rate amplification to your character. Also, there is a movement speed increase. So if you have a 40% of the increased speed, maybe it gives high movement speed to your character. Sky Shoes. I think it is very hard to get it because I didn't see this item in Korea server before. Anyway, it gives 50% movement speed increase for your character maximum, and there is a minus 100% gear state requirement. So this item can be used for your sub characters. It is end of my video here, and thank you for seeing my contents.